everybody, welcome back. This is like take 3. Yeah, it's actually take 2. I had put this together. I took it back apart because I wanted to show you guys exactly how this goes together. This is the front of the fuselage. This is F3, F4, F5, and F7's back out of the way. And this is F16. I found out it's easier to put these on first, upside down. The fuselage right now, pieces are upside down. I messed up on the last time. I wanted to tell you is there's another notch in here. You want to go to the far notch, not the front one. I'll explain why. The front one, you got some of these pieces that lock this, these lock in here later and help lock it together. And there's like a sequence you got to do this. So put these in. I'm putting this one is back here behind the F16. That's where the notch it goes, and you leave that one undone for now. So go back there, put these in. It's a little easier with this upside down for now because it helps set it down on. It still kind of wants to pop apart if you do it. Now I'm going to grab F2. I'm going to sneak it onto the 3/4 inch dowel. Put it back in the blocks. I made these blocks, I had them. There's just a 3/4 inch hole drilled in it with the on this side and on the end of that one with a 3/4 inch dowel through the center. Doesn't come with the kit, I had to go buy it. And it helps keep everything in line. Like I said before, there is like no instructions to how this kit goes together. I haven't found any. Didn't really look through the other kit that he sells, that Meister sells, to figure out if I don't think the instructions are the same. That's why I didn't even go look at it, because I'm not going to confuse myself. So it goes into this first notch right here. There's a notch in there. They slide right over it. Then you grab the front firewall, F1. And you got these slots. Those made into that. And then you also got the dowel hole. Lock this other side in. Okay, now that's in. F19. It's really hard to get it in there. If you look at it, it's got the grooves cut a little bit of an angle. I'm putting it down, the F19 down. This is the hard part. This is really hard to get in here. You can't like get this out and in. It's just, it's just a pain to get in. You gotta lock it into these grooves too. All right, we're in there. You just gotta be careful, don't break nothing, lock it in. I'm gonna flip this over. I might be flipping it back, but I'm gonna flip it over. I'm gonna try to slide this forward against this front board. Hold this all together. Then I'm gonna put, F5A. It's gonna go in there onto the front. Just sets down in there. Sorry if you guys can't see it. I need to turn this a little bit. It just sets down in there. You can see how it sets in. Yeah, I'll grab my phone and take a video of it. So 5A is in there. Now we have F20. There's another little notches. It just sets on the top. Like sets and locks in there. Move stuff around a little bit. And here it just kind of snaps right in there. I don't have none of this glued yet, because I'm going to use wood glue when I do it. I personally, CA, I try not to use it as little as possible because I have to wear a mask because it does affect my breathing. It's just the way it's just what it is. Affects my breathing. Now we have F6, and this is the part of the cockpit, and it goes this way. There's two little notches in the back of these, F26s they were, the ones that go back, F16s. Part of these F16s that go back, it snaps in there. That snaps in. Okay. This is part of the F18, your servo tray. There's little notches in there, and F4, and then on the sides here, it sits into. Okay, so just a little bit sideways, maybe you can see it. It just sits in there, notches into the back of a F4, sits in there. This one here is a little, not quite straight. There we go. I don't want to keep it like that, make sure they're straight. Now, F28, the side pieces. These just slide on in, line them all up. Bring F7 forward, line them up. This actually really locks this together, really nice actually, when you get all this stuff locked in. Okay, got that one. Now I gotta turn this. Make sure it doesn't fall. Turn this back. I'm gonna do that side. Alright. This is the other F28. That goes in here. Try to line it all up. So you don't break anything. So this is actually like balsa, soft balsa. It should be all even when they're snapped in. When they're not really snapped in, but when they're set in that groove, they go all the way in. Alright. Then we have F29. This one goes like this. It's got the wider point at the front, a little narrower at the other end, back. This one's a little deeper cut. This just the same thing, it just sets into the pieces. I'm trying to really be detailed in how I show this, because I just don't want to show pictures of how it goes together like some people do after it's all together. I'm trying to actually show how it goes, because we lost a lot of builders due to COVID. There's not as many builders out there as there used to be. And sorry, stepping in front of the camera. F17 actually goes in here. But you can't get it in there because this dowel, all these get cut out. This section gets cut out. This section gets cut out because that's where the fuel tank goes. And then this F17 will come across here, and it actually sets in this notch. And it goes all the way back to here. Actually, this one doesn't get cut out. Only this one get notched out here. F3 stays there. Like you might have to put a block of wood there later on, a little square, 1/4 by 1/4 or 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch or something in there for this to glue up to, and then against. Okay. I still have F2A that goes down here. Those we'll probably put in after we get all these stringers strung through. F6A, same thing, goes in there after, because it goes below these F16s and goes in there later. Cockpit floor, later. But I got it all set in here to show you. So now it's just a matter of getting this all wood glued together, straight, nice and tight. Use tape. Clothespins, clamps, whatever you prefer. Like I say, just make sure everything's together. So I'm gonna get that done, and then I'll come back. All right, we're back. So I went through and wood glued it. I'm actually using Gorilla Glue and a paintbrush. I usually just put it on top of a container, any kind of container. Just dump some out on it and then use the brush. Put it in the joints and the wood on both sides, and put it together, clamp it, and then come back and brush it through, brush it along to make sure, you know, to try to force it in between those cracks to seal them up. And that's just how I do it. I don't know if that's the right way to do it, but that's how I do it. I have these little clamps. I got different styles. I actually bought them all from these little ones. I bought them from Hobby King years and years ago. I think they were only, like, back then, they were only like 50 cents a piece or something really cheap. I think you can get them other places, but I wish I actually had more of these little clamps. Sometimes when I start using them, I regret not buying more of them. But I also use just old school C clamps. I have those. Whatever, you know, whatever you have, you tape it, pull tape it if you had to. What I'm really just trying to do is get people into building more. I'm glad that I actually have the time right now to build. I even use a couple of the big ones that I've had. I think this one of these, they're 75 cents. I bought it, I think I bought these at like a garage sale somewhere for 75 cents. And I got more somewhere, I just don't know where they're at. For moving around so much. It's like the scroll saw back there. I actually just bought that today from Harbor Freight because I had one. Can't find it. When we moved back, I know I brung it. We've seen it. Me and my wife searched. We went up north, seen the kids the last couple days and the grandkids. Looked up there for it. And just couldn't find it. I don't know where it is. I thought I brought it down here, but we cannot find it. And I actually put, let me rotate this over. See if you can see that. See this is where the wing bolts go through to hold the wing in. And that's like 1/4 inch thick. Oh, I don't want to just bolt my wing down into a 1/4 inch stuff. Just a 1/4 inch. Because I'm going to thread that. What I'll do is I'll drill it out now. I actually put a block of wood in there. Inside, enclosed it inside this and glued it in. And I'll drill that, tap it, take the tap back out, and then I'll CA it, and then tap it again, pull it out, and I'll probably do that twice. CA it twice, let it sit, tap it, CA it, and then tap it again. Because I want my wing bolt to be secure. I don't want crash this thing just because I didn't and I thought about putting blind nuts on the back, but those if you've been in the hobby, those always end up just stripping out and spinning inside, and I'd rather just do it this way, because if I have to later on, I can always tap it again, C8, tap it again, or drill it bigger and put bigger wing bolts in it. If there's a metal in there from those blind nuts, then it just makes for a pain to me. That's just the way I'm doing it. Okay, now those are all in, but I didn't do these sides. The F28s, these still got to be glued because the clamps are in the way. I still got to do these. And I actually thought I would do this while it's recording. Maybe somebody wants to see it, how I'm doing it. Not saying it's the right way to do it, not saying it's the wrong way, just my way. Like I said, I built Dusty. I think Dusty was the last scratch build I built. When I'm saying Dusty, I mean Dusty the crop hopper. He's an air tractor I bought from, I think the name of it, Dusty. Shoot, I'm trying to think of the name of the guy I got it from. He was, if I remember right, he was down in like Alabama. I think Alabama, and he has a couple different air tractors. He's got a big one that he designed and he sells the kit for, and he only sells the ribs, the kit and the plans. You can buy the plans, cut the ribs out yourself if you want from him, or he'll cut the ribs out. I think I don't remember how he does it. I think he laser cutted it too, but it's been a while since I've done Dusty. I'm trying to think of his name. I know you can go to, is it Bosso USA? Because he doesn't have all the wood kit, but they have the wood kit you can buy from them. And you can get all the wood to build the plane. And it's like one kit that you can buy from them without the ribs. Because you have to buy the ribs from them, from him. The way they look at it is. Otherwise, you got to order the ply and the balsa or whatever for the ribs. And cut them out yourself, which you can do. I've done it before. It's just, now getting into like buying from Meister here. Like I said before, I have his P47 plans for the, I think it's the 100 inch. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. It's the 1/5 scale. It's not the big one that everybody puts I think it's designed for a 250, the big one, the 1/4. And everybody always puts like a 400 in it, radio. But I think it's actually designed for a 250, but I think the 400 will fit in it too. And if you go online into YouTube, you can see them, all the videos of everybody putting those big 400 I want to say Moki. I'm probably saying it wrong. Big radio engines in them. And anyways, I have the plans for the quarter or the 1/5 scale, not the quarter, 1/5. And I was gonna build it. I bought that plans from Meister years ago now. Been quite a few years. I actually cut them out, cut the plans up, because I was gonna cut my own ribs. I think I did that last winter. I was gonna start cutting my own ribs out and buy the wood, everything to build the full kit. And I just never got around to it. And this one does not fit now. I might have to. It looks like I kind of went a little bit too far forward with this. That glue is holding. Oh, I just broke it. Well, couldn't get for not putting this on, but the thing is, the clamps would have been in the way. I'm gonna have to, where I broke that right here, just behind this rib. Let's see if I can spin this a little bit. Just behind this rib, I cracked it. I'm gonna have to CA it, and I don't like using CA. I'm gonna have to fix that. But, and now that I got it in all the way through, it's actually in there pretty nice. I'll go back through and hit the joints. You hit all these joints. To see if I can just push a little bit of glue in if there's any gaps in there. The reason, my reasoning behind it, I don't want glue out here on the outside though. So if you get some on the outside, wipe it off. But I still actually plan on building that 1/5 P47 from him. But now I'll probably just buy it, even though I already have everything cut out, I'll probably just buy the kit. I'll probably buy the full kit just like I did this one. And, because I actually already have the motor, the retracts for that kit, servos, I have everything for that kit too. I like the P47 too. I love the Corsair. I just like the I like the P51. Eventually, I'll probably do all of them from him. I actually really like the Meister kits, that's why. You know, the problem is if you want to go and buy an ARF anymore from like Tower Hobbies or Horizon Hobby or Nitro Planes, I think they're just cars now. I don't think they really sell any planes. They might sell some foamies, but actually, you know, Nitro Planes is actually one who got me in to the hobby, because they used to have some really reasonable warbirds and planes, and I still got their 100cc Yak 54, 100cc, 103 inch, and I've been flying that for, I think I got that in 2010, so it's 12, 13 years I've had that plane. I still have it. I mean, the plane's right out of the box. There's some cheap hardware in there, but if you replace it with better hardware, which I eventually did, you know, I did use their cheap stuff for the start, and but you realize the hardware is pretty cheap and you're going to want to upgrade it. But their kit's got a, you know, because it was cheap, it got a lot of people into the hobby. I think when I bought that plane, that 100cc, I got it for like I want to say it was like $250. They shipped it to my house. I think I only paid $350 for it total with shipping. I mean, you can't buy a plane for that. And I think they were the ones who got a lot of people into the hobby. And then when they went away, I think they got a lot of people out of the hobby. I don't know why they don't sell what happened with them. Because it's just like all of a sudden, all of their planes just, eventually they just sold them all out and stopped with the planes. They got into the drone more part of it and just got out of it. Got out of the planes. Even though they're nitro planes, you think they would. I would like to see them, you know, see them sell planes again. But, you know, maybe it was because it wasn't very profitable for them. But it had to have been better than what they are now. You know, even if they would have raised the prices a little bit more so they made money off them, I think it was still would have been cheaper. Just try to go buy an ARF now, even a P51 or a Corsair, it's like $1,000 if you can find it. Go on Tower Hobbies, go on Horizon Hobby, and try to find one in stock. And I guarantee you, or not really guarantee you, I bet you they don't even, they have them on their listing, but they're not there. Out of stock. Nobody has any of that stuff in stock anymore. You know, the Hanger 9s and I forget the other one. That there is a P40 and it is shoot. The Sky, I want to say Skylark, Skyhawk, something like that. It's been a while since I changed it and painted it different. I didn't like the paint scheme, the Desert Storm scheme that it came with. So I actually painted it like it is. Repainted the nose by, I think, by hand. My friend, one of the ladies I knew, she did airbrushing. She was gonna airbrush it, and we just never really got around to. She ended up moving away when I lived in northern Michigan. She moved to Ohio because her husband's job moved. But back to this. But try to find an ARF now. If you can find one. That's the problem. You can't find them. Nobody has them. They might have them on their website. Even like I like the Pilot RC planes that I think it's Chief Aircraft Sales down in Florida. They're down in Florida. The planes that they have in stock are I know they have some right now, or they did. I looked at buying one of those instead of buying this because I actually have a DOE 170 that I wanted to put in a 122-inch extra. And I actually have all that stuff, and I still want one. I wanted the old orange and purple, I think, even though it looked blue to me, they said it was orange and purple. I think it was a SC, extra SC, which they don't have it no more. Now there's a green one. Last I looked, they had a green one in stock, but I think it's not an SC no more. It's just an extra something. And I don't think it's even a 122-inch wingspan anymore. If I remember, it's like 118, which is probably fine. Because I actually have another plane. I've had the red in. I got the green now from I think it's Red Wing Hobby. I don't know if they're even around anymore. Red Wing, I have one of their extra, or yak. I think it's a 55. I've had a red one and I had a green one. I can't remember what I did with the red one. I don't think I wrecked it. Might have got a bad landing or something and crashed it, but, or I just wanted the green one. I took the red one apart and sold it. I think that's what I did. I took the red one apart and sold it because I wanted the green one instead of the red and black. I got the green and black. I still have that. It's in the other room. But I don't know if they're even around anymore. Red Wing RC. And COVID did not help out. Like, I thought it would actually help the RC community, you know, because people would have more time to build. But like talking with Meister, I'm like, hey, I thought you had sold a lot more plans, everything. Everybody's got time to do stuff, but he said the problem is it's killed a lot of the builders. A lot of the builders have died from COVID. So he said that's why he isn't doing, I think he said he was doing this, selling these full time, and he's not no more. He had to go back and get a job. So if you buy a plane from him, I mean, he has to make a living too, you know. You're not gonna get it right away. You gotta allow time for him to build it and cut it, and if you want to cut one, I imagine if you bought the plans, you get the plans pretty fast. But don't expect him to go down there and call him and expect to have it the next week. Maybe not even the next month, maybe a month and a half, 2 months before you get it. I know when I called him about this, it was probably 2 months. And then I ended up letting him know I had already paid for it and told him I was unexpectedly heading to Florida. And he had it ready for when I got down there, because then he didn't have to ship it. So he might have hurried up and did it a little faster to save on shipping for me. But my thinking on doing this video, and you guys might think it's I'm dragging this out and everything, is I want to try to teach people how to do this, to get more people back into it. I mean, you know, because you're having a hard time getting these arts. Maybe some of you, you know, really, really good builders need to teach the trade. Start teaching people again. You know, I was a Boy Scout leader before. I love teaching stuff. That's why I'm doing this. You might think this video is taken for, I'm doing this just for the views or whatever. Yeah, I would like to get more subscribers. I'd like to get over 1,000 subscribers, maybe get paid a little bit for what I'm doing. Hey, who wouldn't? You know, but if I could make a living off just doing this, I think any of us would love to do it, not have to go to work. I do love my job. I love the guy I work for. The company I work for is actually him and his wife own it. It's probably, I have to say, the best company I've ever worked for. The best company I have ever worked for. I love working. I love my job right now. You know how that can change in a heartbeat sometimes. But I love the people I work. I like the people I work with. You may not always get along all the time, but I still respect them and like them. I think what the problem today is with the economy and all of the CDL stuff. I think the CDL drivers are way underpaid for what they, especially over the road guys, are way underpaid. everybody thinks that, you know, all this whole transportation thing problem, they keep blaming it on the supply chain issues and everything like that. Well, even with our hobby, it's the same thing. The supply chain issues. Well, that's probably because nobody wants to pay that guy just for shipping. Like that Chief aircraft plane. The old one was probably $250 a ship. Now, to buy that one that plane's like $1,900, and another $350 to ship it to my house. And even I had to be like, wow. I mean, that's a lot of money. $350 to ship it, but you got to think that's a huge plane. 22-inch wingspan, Earth. It comes in 2 boxes. So then if you split it up, that's $175 a box. So you start thinking like that, and you're like, well, maybe it's not such a bad price. Like I said, I do have my CDO. I got it in the oil field. I worked for a company doing fracking out there. That's how they paid. You know, you signed a year contract to work for them, and they actually send you to. Actually went to Halliburton. I told you who it was, but to Williston University out there. They actually go send you to Williston University to get your CDL. That's part of the deal, is with you working for them. I think they would have been better for me to just go pay for it myself, because their pay, you know, they take advantage of the guys a little bit, I think, for what they're paying them for what you're doing. You know, especially like me, I was wireline, doing fracking, dealing with the explosives, hauling the explosives, especially after I got my CDL, hauling the explosives around. I had fun doing it. It's something different. It was exciting because here you are dealing with the explosives. You know, if you're like being a firefighter, I was for so many years. You know, you were volunteering. You did it because, I don't know, some guys like me, I thought it was fun being a firefighter. Literally cutting people out of car accidents. It didn't bother me, seeing blood, all that stuff. But anyways, getting back to today, if you get your CDL, and if you're on unemployment right now, even here in Michigan, if you're on unemployment will pay for you to get your CDL. Yep, they will pay for you to get your CDL, and they will pay for it all in the state of Michigan. I don't know about other states, but Michigan will pay for you to get your CDL if you're on unemployment. And that's like, nowadays it's probably $6,000-7,000 to get your CDL. I mean, that's a lot of money. If they're here, if somebody else is going to pay you to do it, that's pretty good. To go get it and pay for it. Shoot, I would have rather done that than go out in the oil field. I did enjoy myself out in the oil field though. That's just another one of those things that's something not everybody does. Maybe you guys don't want to listen to my rambling. I don't know. Just change the channel. But the oil field, it got me to where I am today. If the oil field, wouldn't have died, if the political environment wouldn't have killed it, I'd probably still be moving oil rigs from pad to pad. I made more money doing that, moving oil rigs from pad to pad, than I did do now. And that's what I did. I winched the loads up on, winched my own loads, chain them down, take them to the other new pad, drop it, go back, get another load. Sometimes you'd sit there. I think I've sat on pad for 2 days. Never left. Got paid. Never did nothing. Just sat in my truck. I think I actually had my son, my wife bring me food. My son, when he was there, he would bring me some food. But now this is gonna be the hard part, because this 4-foot dowel. So not, I mean, it's like ½ inch too short. That's barely in there. Okay, let's see if I can get it out of this one some. Don't drop it. One ends at 10, so 10's all the way back here. So I'm probably gonna have to pull this dowel through and bring this block maybe up to here, into here somewhere. I think that's what I'm gonna have to try to do. Get this off of here. See if I can pull this dowel down to you. Might be better to spin it. There we go. Oh, yep, we got it. So I'll put it down here. Set this through here. Okay. Actually broke that one. Actually, I broke 2 of them. Broke this one. And broke this one. But you should be able to cut these out of here once you get the plane built. Like this here gets cut out because I think I showed you before. This goes up in here and goes through the end. Or not don't go through the end, but it comes through here. And I believe, yeah, see it goes up under this, so you do have to cut this one out. You can probably cut this whole rib out. So then later on you can cut this off straight across. So just that little bit of weight, you might want to take it off. That'll make up for me using wood glue instead of CA to eliminate some of the weight. Because this ain't gonna be no structural. I mean, I can't see it being any structural stuff. Your structural is across here, across this rib. So you might want to flatten that so you can get up in here later on. Like this on the bottom, your servos are going to stick out the bottom, face down, so your screws go up on the bottom, because you're not going to, this will be all covered, you won't be able to get in there. So these aren't structural anyway, so but since I broke that, I should take some tape, take those off of there. We'll just take some tape, wrap it around here, because right now it's sagging. twist it up, wrap it around it, get it up in there. That, or I can just take a clamp and clamp it. If this ain't gonna hold it up, which I might end up with just clamping it. Because I don't want it sagging, even though this dowel will probably sagging a little bit. Put a clamp on there. That way I get these in here. Because this has to go in here. Get these together. Number 8. Upside down. This is the one. Once I get it, I'll mark them with a pencil where they go. So I can get this all the way up together. I debated on setting these flat on the table and actually putting a mask on and CAing them together. But with this dowel, it's got to hold it center. So, I mean, even though, like I say, you can see it may sag a little bit. Right now, I'm just dry fitting it to make sure. This, I'm all the way down to F10 down here, and this actually goes on the back side of it, F10 for the tail wheel retract. Mounts to that. See if I can find the other. This is the problem, getting this stuff in there. Together. So I say it might be easier to. So if I would have had to do this, I would have had to done this all. I'd had to put the dowels together because I could only find 4-foot dowels. Maybe online you can get some longer ones. Maybe that would be easier for you if you haven't bought any yet. I was surprised I could actually get 4-foot. I was thinking there were only 3-foot holes. Get these together. See, this F26 actually goes backwards. Goes up in here. Right, this one goes up here. Just trying to dry fit everything before I and that's actually F11 back there I got together. I'm probably gonna have to pull it apart, bring it up here, and I don't know, I'm gonna try to do it without it. I'd like to just keep sliding this dowel back and putting it together. Clamp it. See how that holds. What do you say, dry fit it? And my thing is, I didn't ever have anybody teach me how to do this and build these planes. Nobody ever taught me. I watched videos and just did it. Same thing with teaching myself how to fly. I taught myself how to fly. I did fly when I was a teenager and had somebody teach me. But then, you know, I got out of the hobby because I like racing dirt bikes. That's why my channel is called Hurley Cycle. I actually used to own a cycle place, not a cycle place, a repair place up in Sand Lake, Hurley Sand Lake Service. Go behind here. That me and my family owned, my wife, kids helped me. We mainly worked on dirt bikes, four-wheelers, golf carts. I did work on cars too, because I actually am a licensed mechanic too. But I did it to work on small engine mainly. I liked it. I didn't really care for working on cars. I've worked at different places before. I worked for muffler mans, maxi mufflers, stuff like that before, state exhaust. But they seemed like every one of them was just out to rip people off. I'm just gonna tell you, you go to any place like that, unless you're getting an exhaust fixed. The same thing with the oil change places. Oil change places, that's the worst oil you could ever put in your car. That oil is junk. All it is recycled oil. Recycled. They go filter it, clean it, or clean it, they just filtered it. Run it through a thing, and maybe add a little bit of new oil into it. Add a little bit of actually beeswax. They actually added beeswax. And they still, I imagine it's still the same way today. They put beeswax in it. That's why if you lift up your oil cap, if your car goes, you go to oil change place, you lift it up and flip it over, and you'll see the white film and all that, and yellow film. That's beeswax in the oil. It's not good for your motor. You have bees, honey, and all that stuff. Good for you. Might be good for you. Bees aren't good for me because I'm allergic to them, but doesn't mean I don't like honey. But it's not good. It's not good for everything else. So, not good for your car. Not good for your motor. Besides, those places, they're gonna upcharge you like crazy. Say they're gonna clean your antifreeze and clean your radiator, back flush it, do all this stuff. Most of the time, they don't even touch it. You pay for it, and it's probably like $150. And sorry, they don't even do it. And if they do it, they're not doing it right. Most of them are just making it look like they're doing it, hooking the machine up, but they're not actually back flushing it. I'm not saying that if ones who are doing it, not all of them, there's probably some that are doing it right. But what I've seen over my years of working at three different places like that, they're not doing it right. And a lot of times when I went to go do it right, I got yelled at for doing it right. Because they didn't want me doing it right. Yep, they did not want me doing it right. Let's see. So I gotta get this torn apart back here, but I want a picture of it because these plans, you can see it here on the top of the plans, like the F25s right here, these little dinky ones. I know you guys can't see it very well up there. Maybe I'll throw a picture in, take a picture of it. I'll throw it in the video. And you guys can see it, because I gotta take this apart to get all of this. It was kind of a pain to put together. And there's some little pieces back here that they you can't hardly see on the plans. They're really hard. When I'm trying to think of the one, I think it's F24. I think they actually called it something different. Yeah, F24 right here, which is actually over here. When I looked at the plans, they only give me one, and you should have two, because there's a space for two of them. These little things. This is just so you can make one. The same thing with those wing ribs I mentioned before, and for the wings, how the hinges are. They want you, it says in the plans, they want you to make it make new ones out of G10 1/8 inch, because it's 1/8 inch thick. And this is just like a template for you. So later on I have to make these, put them in. I've ordered the G10. I've had to order it. I think it's actually supposed to be here tomorrow. So ordered it I got it from Amazon. Because I'm a Prime. I got it for the same price as the cheapest place I could get it online, which is a 12 by 12 sheet of G10 1/8 inch thick. It's like 20 bucks a sheet. I got 2 sheets. I don't think I need 2 sheets, but since I'm getting it, I'd rather just buy it. And if I have an extra one maybe I'll like the hinges and I'll use them for something else. Yeah, I'll probably make extra ones anyways. Because then if I ever wreck the plane or whatever I do to it, you never know. Life goes on, and I might end up, I might end up crashing this plane. You don't know. That's one thing about building it yourself. I know how everything goes together. I have the plans. I can make it. Even if I wreck the front of it, the whole back of it's good, I can rebuild the whole front. Cut it out and rebuild it myself. Not just take the plane like an ARF and throw it in the junk. Get it where I need it, take it apart, pull the sides off of it, pull it apart so then I can start gluing it. I might just, I don't know, I've decided I might glue this one on video, like I did these today. But I gotta fix these that I broke. Rushing too much. Excited. Alright guys, I'll be back.